Reggie Van Stockkum's latest book surrounding Fort Knox, including southern Indiana, is a must-read for anyone who loves Kentucky, Indiana, travel, and tourism. You get to explore the rich cultures and stunning landscapes of the Fort Knox area in southern Indiana. Joining me here in studio, Reggie himself, sharing a little bit more about his incredible journey and his love for writing about all things in the Kentucky and Indiana area. Well, it is so great to meet you.
Claudia, what a pleasure being here. Thank you very much for inviting me in.
You have been writing these books for quite some time, and the truth is in the title. So this latest book is surrounding Fort Knox. But is it about Fort Knox?
Well, no, not really.
It's a giveaway.
But it does include the history of the Fort Knox area before Fort Knox was established. And of course, I talk about the history of how Fort Knox was established, but it's about what surrounds that area, the places that we don't go because we're so fixated on going someplace we think we want to be.
Right.
As a result, we miss all the wonder and splendor around it. And that's what this book is, my Fort Knox surrounding Fort Knox, including southern Indiana.
Looking at the cover of the book right now, and what fascinated you and drew you to the idea of the surrounding, of the things that we don't necessarily see when we go to a tourist destination or a popular city?
Well, I'm a biologist. I have a doctorate in biology and a law degree, and I concentrate in environmental law. So I have been all over the state, the Commonwealth, southern Indiana, as a biologist working on my studies, or as an environmental attorney working on cases. So I've seen so much over the years that I've practiced. And as I move through this area and I see this unglaciated landscape, rock surfaces that have been eroding for 500 million years, it just has to fire you up, and it certainly does me. And I wanted to go back and write about the things that I saw when I was working in those areas and learn something I didn't know before.
What is it about the surrounding Fort Knox area that really grabbed your attention? Don't give away the whole book, but some key features that you think people would really love to learn more about.
Well, you asked a wonderful question. I hinge this book on a couple of areas. West Point, Kentucky. I mean, West Point, the cat's meow of the 1800s. The Ohio River traffic, the Salt River traffic, the lore of that town. Monty Matthews is a historian down there. I encourage you to go see the history museum they have. I also hinge.
I didn't even know they had a history museum there.
Yeah, they do. Just go.
Neither do many people, probably.
Yeah. It's worth going. People just drive on by and they don't stop. The history is stunning. It's worth stopping. It's like the TARDIS, Doctor Who's TARDIS. You go inside this little history museum and it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Oh, wow.
Full of stuff.
Right.
I also hinge it on New Haven. Oh my gosh, you go to New Haven and you're going back 100 years. That's a thriving little community now, but the history is just absolutely lovely. You come across along downstream on the Kentucky side of the Ohio River, and you get to a place called Cloverport. Well, my gosh, Cloverport's just loaded with history, important history in the cannel coal industry, the steamboat history. You can go down and cross at Hawesville over to Cannelton, and then you end up in this Perry County wonderland of wilderness that nobody goes to. Well, some people go who know about it, but I just found fascinating. I got totally lost in there. I ended up writing extensively about that southern Indiana area. You end up in Harrison County, Corydon, Indiana. Karen Schwartz, the historian over there. It's just loaded. It's just loaded.
And your love really focuses around these natural attractions, the beauty of nature. And I feel like, especially after COVID, so many people discovered, finally, the beauty of Kentucky and the great outdoors in so many places that we have here. What do you hope they discover when they touch upon and explore these other areas?
Something they didn't know before. And if they travel as I do, emotionally, they will find these ancient landscapes, these ancient landforms, the cultures, the science that's associated with them, just compelling. And they'll want to come back, and they'll find so much more when they're there. Kentucky, southern Indiana is still a frontier. It was settled so early that when pioneers came from the eastern seaboard, they just moved right on through Kentucky to the lands to the west. And that's very good because they left it for me. So when people come to Kentucky now and they say how wonderful it is, I try to encourage them to go to Washington State by telling them that it never rains in Seattle.
Good advice. This is like the what, third volume that you have here surrounding? How many do you have right now?
Oh, I have 4. Actually.
Four.
Yeah, 4 of them.
Surrounding. Where else can we go surrounding?
Well, you can get them on my blog site.
It never rains in Seattle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it's amazing how many people will just move right on through.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so the Fort Knox book's my biggest, 766 pages. That took 2.5 years to write.
Right.
Because I go out and I research them myself.
You've got some patience.
I've got 3 others surrounding Mammoth Cave, surrounding the Kentucky River. That took 3 years to do because I go and experience all this stuff.
Oh, and the Kentucky River right now is, I mean, we've had so many floodwaters. Let's just hope many of the things that you've seen are still there.
Yeah, it's something. It is a beautiful, bountiful environment, but it can be harsh. When you get up in those 3 forks up there, which I write about, I was there for the big floods previously, and it's catastrophic.
Right. It is a pleasure to meet you and an honor to talk to you.
Claudia,
this has been great.
You're just a nice person.
This has just been great. We could do a whole podcast on this. So should I send people to vanstockum.blog for more details or someplace else?
Yes, www.vanstockum.blog. You'll find all my books plus a lot of free blogs of interest. You can go to the Little Mount Lavender store in Simpsonville. Yes. I sell my hardbacks of these journey logs there. And you can go to the 6th and Main Coffee House in Shelbyville, Kentucky, and find all of my books.
There we go. Catch up with Reggie that way. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.